5,262 years before the birth of Kaladin Stormblessed. We begin at the end of the world. War has raged across Roshar for 100 years. The Knights Radiant, the Divine Heralds, and the remaining peoples of Roshar remain locked in near constant battle with the forces of Odium, Singers, Fused, Regals, and Thunderclasts. The disparate nations of this land have struggled against the Endless Tide for 100 years, and some fight back to this day. Others surrendered long ago, and many, if not all, will have forgotten those who faced complete annihilation. Nothing on this planet remains untouched by the ravages of this terrible war. A war so destructive it reaches beyond what one can see. Technologies forever lost, bloodlines eradicated, cultures forgotten, and the land shattered to ruin. No, this was not merely a war. This event was a desolation. But today it finally ends. Still unknown to our players, the world will end. For them, it is but another day filled with fear, hunger, and pain. In the northeast of the continent, touching the Reshi Sea and the Steamwater Ocean, lies the small, newly formed nation of Herdaz. Recently, the ethnic minority of Herdazians seized autonomy of the region from the fierce Rishir Empire, who rule from a floating armada of island-sized great shells just to the west. But here, a thick, warm mist wafts inward from the coast, along jagged, narrow peninsulas. Further inland lies the lush green farmlands cut through by long weaving rivers and streams. This humid, verdant region has long been known for its fertile farming grounds to both men and the many lifespren that dance among the rock buds and slithering vines. King Luiro still leads the people from a nomadic seat of power, as a true capital has yet to be formed. However, the many independent ranches continue to spew smoke from the unique and colorful glyph chimneys. By not supplying the agricultural yields of this land to any armies in the ongoing war, Herdaz has fended off the worst of organized military pillaging. However, bandits and looters still find their way into the nation. Here, along the ever-changing border, we find a man in thick hog's hide armor leading a small troop of 10. You want to introduce yourself, Andy?
So Pako is about 5'5". He's got thick shoulder length, somewhat curly hair, more wavy. His right eye is blue and his left eye is brown because he has mixed heritage. He has sort of an unkempt half-inch beard, a pointy nose. He's stocky. Think of a fullback kind of look. He's got pretty big hands. The best way to put it is just he looks like a fullback. He looks like a guy that, he could carry a lot of weight, more than he should for his height, and he has a lot of power to him. He has a stiff back, has a command presence. He looks like he has a little hunger in his eyes.
All right, men. It's me, General Pako. From what I gather, we got to lead this way. And he points with a dirty glove towards the north. And you can clearly see that he's not used to a group this big. He's sort of questioning himself at the moment. And he looks a little bit frazzled. And he goes, all right, group. So, I know we have a job, but when we were briefed, I'll be honest with you, did not take notes or glyphs. I was storming drunk. Does anyone have any idea what we're doing here at all?
And so we find this man. He's a classic Herdazian. His home is far from here along the coast, and yet you've been stationed here along this southern border to protect the borderland homestead, known for banditry. This morning, an unknown smoke trail rose from the north near where you're stationed, so you collected the able-bodied adults here, ready to set out. They're not the most trained folks that you've come across, and for now, you see that as you've started to move out with this group, You said there's a lot of them, but it's probably more that you're not used to being with a group of people that are like this untrained. You're used to more serious military men, shipmen that have been aboard your fighting vessel where you helped conquer Herdaz as a unique nation away from the Rishir Empire. So across these rolling hills, you see glyph chimneys just billowing smoke, and later, the smoke will serve as your guide home. So you're traveling out with these men and women. They're mostly in the hog's hide armor that's barely in armor, and these are the people that have stepped up to protect this village. They have anticipation spren rising around them. These red ribbons like vines. Anxiety spren appear around the several farmers' heads. Dark purple spheres that fray around the edges. Some are nervously like striking their spark flickers against their hardened flint-like fingers, which are unique to the Herdazian biology. And one of them, an older woman, is going to come up to you. Oi, Gancho, you think these raiders is hiding in nooks or crannies?
I'll be honest with you. Duh. It seems as though they're out in the field. This is totally different from the way that I was trained to fight. I'm more of a guerrilla guy. I think our best option is the low and slow technique. I want everyone to gather a bunch of camouflage and dirt and rub it all over your body and make it look like we're a bunch of trees and bushes. And that way, I don't think that they're in nooks and crannies. I think that they're in a big old field, and we can creep up on them over time.
And they all look around to each other. They nod their heads. These people are happy to have someone that is a trained military man around them. They've spent too long just out here on their own being raided by these vicious mercenaries that come from whichever nation is nearby, mostly deserters. So as you all head out there, they're rubbing themselves with dirt. They're hyping themselves up. The anticipation spren and anxiety spren keep to like billow up around them. But you reach the top of this hill and you see that in front of you there's this campfire. It has been seen emitting smoke, but it was recently stamped out. There's no immediate signs of life.
Get down.
Everybody hits the deck.
All right. Now, stealth is probably our best option here. I'm going to take 2 scouts. Who's the sneakiest of the bunch?
Borlino, the young lady or older lady, she's gonna raise her hand and she's gonna try to go with you. But then you see that there's a couple younger folk that kind of push her hand back down and are like, "We'll take care of this one." She's a feisty one for her age for sure. But these two younger folk, a man and a woman, are gonna join you. Do you want to give me a perception or a deduction check?
Yeah, let me do deduction. That would be in Yeah, it's in cognitive.
Cognitive, yeah, yeah. Okay, first roll of the game.
All right, rolling. That was a 7.
You guys just start walking forward. You're sneaking. Let's.
Wait, can I tell him what I want to do?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and he points down at his fingers. He's still wearing grubby gloves, and he points down and makes a clover leaf, like sort of a club on his hand. And he goes, right. So you go right, you go left, and then all go super around, and then we'll all make this same interlocking clover leaf around the area, and we'll try and suss out what's going on here. Sound good?
They both nod. Oh, gotcha.
All right.
So let's do a group stealth check. I'm going to give these random farmers a +1 to this. Or I'll say, you gave them some good description. I'll maybe give them advantage here. But give me a stealth check, and I'll roll for both of them. So we'll start with that.
I got a 21, 17 plus 4.
Nice.
Because I have 4 to stealth.
All right, I got a nat 20 and a 15 over here. So this is really solid. Like everybody here, you guys have disappeared. This is a full on like ghillie suit crawling through the grass here, and there's a similar grass to Shinovar, but out here it's not nearly as rocky, but there's not a depth to this soil. It really just ends just below the surface. A lot of this stuff does get wiped away in the storms. You do get to avoid the worst of it out here. All of you duck down. You follow this clover shape, each of you taking one of the sides. You get in closer to the campfire itself. You can see the two of them. They see you. This was a really good check. So you're all like on the same page, each like taking one of these cardinal directions of this campfire. What's your play?
All right, let's go back and reconfirm with everybody what we saw. I got some notes. I'm sure you got some notes. Let's sneak on back.
As you guys are sneaking back, you start to hear a cry come out from the group that was left behind. Back there, there's a panic. You see, because they're just behind this hill, you start to see Painspren fly up into the air. You see there's a panic spren that comes whizzing towards you guys through the sky. And I'm going to have you do an initiative here where you can pick to get there fast or slow. And so if you pick fast, you're going to get your 2 actions. If you go slow, you can get your 3.
I'm going to go slow.
Okay, so we'll have the enemies go first. The team around you, these two are very like locked into your leadership here. They're following what you're doing 100%. They're not going to deviate from the plan. As soon as you crest this hill again, you see that there's 9 men, disheveled rags. They have charged from a nearby grove where it seems they were waiting for you all to pass. So they waited for the leader to like step away from everybody. You struggle to immediately pinpoint their leader as you crest this hill, but you can tell that they're from various regions and nations. They have dark, sunken eyes of killers. As we've entered this initiative, they go first because they all chose to go fast. They're in a panic, but so are your allies. You see that a couple of them have already fled. They're already running back to the base with no leadership to tell them what to do. And the rest of them are stuck in a circle in the center as these men surround them like a pack of axe hounds.
So am I one with 3, or am I one singularly?
You're with the other 2 on the outside of this circle. So I'll say with you choosing to go slow, like all of this stuff has already happened, but now you're going to get your 3 actions. They've taken theirs, which was more to like not do anything too aggressive, just surround. But you are heavily outnumbered here.
Storms will let us into an ambush. All right, you. I want you to sneak around to the flank of the rear. You come with me. We'll lay down something. I need you to take out your sword and take out your sword and then we'll rush them. Can I trust you to get behind?
Poncho, you can trust me with anything.
Let's go.
You guys all take off.
So he starts sprinting down. Pako starts sprinting down the hill towards the group with his sword drawn, and he's going to go to the closest person in the circle.
So you have 2 actions now.
While screaming, "Skada!" And then he'll take a swing at the first guy.
All right, nice. Give me your, is it heavy or light weapons?
This is a side sword, because he was just going on a scouting mission, so he didn't bring his long sword. My roll was, rolled an 8 on the D20.
Yeah. So that's not going to do it. But you've grabbed enough attention towards yourself as you scream "Scatter!" and the other 2 are going to pop in from the sides. Give me just 2 D20s for the 2 of your allies here.
Yeah. So one had a 16.
All right.
And then the other one, 19 plus 1, 20.
Nice. Okay. So each of them comes in from the sides, like flanking this circle that has surrounded your troop of farmers that you came here with. They each strike and drop a person on the spot. One bandit on each side falls, and from the center of the circle, the people you brought with you, they're going to start to scatter. They're trying to like escape through here. Your enemies don't have enough time to close this circle as they went fast this turn. They've already lost all of their actions. They've been caught fully by surprise, and as these 2 drop, we're going to enter the next round. So are you choosing to go fast or slow?
I'm going to choose fast.
You're up. What's your move?
All right. I want to grapple the guy that I missed, and then I want to try and take him to the ground and slit his throat.
Give me the strength check. I'll oppose that here.
Let's see. Would that be athletics?
Yeah.
I got a 16 plus 3, 19.
Yeah, nice. So you definitely grab the guy and you're able to like pin him to the ground. You can take advantage on your next action, the attack against him.
Okay. So I'm grappling him at the moment. Storms, you guys! You gotta attack! You gotta fight back! Sure, fight!
Give me a leadership check here.
I've got a 12. 9 plus 3.
Let's see. So, of the 8 that are remaining here, we'll say that at least 4 of them stay. The others are going to start running and then maybe hesitate a bit, but they're going to turn their backs back towards the fighting and are going to draw a bit of the attention from the surrounding men. So, did you give me your attack roll on the guy?
Not yet, because you said that was my next.
I'll let the leadership roll be free. That's like your banter.
Okay. All right. I got a 15.
Nice. Yeah. So you just slit the guy's throat, like you said.
Yeah. So I had a 4 plus 6 or 4 plus 2. I mean, so I got a.
These are all like 1 HP grunts.
Okay.
Each
So
of them just drops. Yeah.
Slit his carotid, and I kind of like squat up in a defensive move, if I'm allowed to do that. Just sort of like a slit pull up, and now I'm like in a sort of athletic stance. And then, is there anyone close to me?
So yeah, you're still surrounded by a handful of them. They're kind of just like to your wings, fanning out because they were in this circular shape.
I kind of want to posture myself to the closest one, while I scream at the others. This is your chance to attack.
And the other two, you want to give me 2 more rolls for the other 2 attackers? They're attacking the same way you would, pretty much.
One got an 8, and then the other one got a 20.
Nice. The one to your left strikes out and meets a parry and just is fully pushed back.
I can see his eyes, and they're wide, and this is the first fight I can see he's ever gotten into.
That was the first life he's ever taken before this, without a doubt. And then the younger woman, she's ducking low, gets in close to the guy. He gives a wild swing that totally misses, and she takes that opportunity to get in. One knife through the chest, drops him to the ground, and is just going to keep on moving. The other 4 are going to start moving back inward to try to like take more attention, but we're going to say that half of the remaining men are going to turn on them and the 2 that are like aiding you, while at least 3 of them now are going to just turn towards you. They're taking their action because they're still going fast. These guys, they're very heightened emotion here. Like these are people that were once trained soldiers, but they've lost all of their discipline. These guys are just pure violence at this point. They're fighting just to survive, and they want to take what's yours. The 3 of them are going to come at you right now. And 2 of them, as they strike out, they're both going to hit you, just kind of like strikes across your chest in an X.
Oh, God! Oh, oh.
You're going to take a total of 7 damage. How much health do you have total right now?
I have 12 health.
So they take over half of your health here. We're going to call this an injury. As this is an injury, you're going to have to make let's start with just a D6 to determine the part of the body. I know that I said they had a cross across your chest, but...
Okay. So I got a 5.
A 5 is going to be like lower shins. They're going for your legs. One of them takes out a Achilles, while the other slams your knee. You feel like the joint pops out of its socket on your left knee.
Oh, nice. I'm not as young as I once was. And then I got a 7 on the 8.
You are overwhelmed by this injury. You feel so much shock. You're talking big game, which you know is the way to keep them distracted, but you are almost stunned out of this. You are going to lose all of your reactions on the next turn.
I had worse fishing.
These guys, like, they're not talking. They might not even know Herdazian. The way they're looking at you, these are just blood-crazed maniacs. And so they land this injury on you. The remaining, there's just a scrap going on behind you. I'm not even going to roll this. This is just like, it's a back and forth that could go on for like an indeterminable amount of time, as the remaining allies of yours are trying to help, but they're not really sure what to do. And so we'll come to the end of that round again. Top of initiative, you could choose fast, but or wait, surprise, maybe. I think in surprise, maybe you do have to go slow.
Yeah, by the nature of it, I'm going to go slow.
These 2 are going, or the 3 that are around you are going to go in for like another strike. And one of them is going to land with another 4 damage. He's going to put you on your back.
I am at 1 health.
With 1 health left, you fall to the ground.
Run! Run! Storms, run!
You hear one of these men just who seems to be the leader now, and he says, "Looks like we got him. Take one of the Sparker's hands. I've always wanted one." You're lying on the ground. You see the homestead smoke rising in the distance. The air is filled with this smell of blood. You feel the fear for the residents that you came here to protect. High above, you see Salas, the earliest to rise of the moons, violet and dim, nearly overlapping the sun but not blocking it out as it's too small. Beams of light glare around it in a halo of radiance, and as you stare up into the sky from your back, you begin to see streams of mist rising from your body, as if a piece of you is leaving, rising to the halls above. You've theorized before on the existence of a soul, and of course, you only come to find the evidence of it now at the end. Though maybe it's not the end, but a new beginning. Your vision begins to fade to blackness, and in your last moment of consciousness, you see a splash of color before everything begins to fade. So now we move to Alethela, later to be conquered by the hierarchy of Vorinism and renamed Alethkar. This land has been the front line against the Voidbringers in many wars, and today it stands defiantly still. The front line of this particular battle is a craggy expanse of rock and stone, weathered by not only the powerful high storms, but the destructive capabilities of the Voidbringers. Craters from explosive clashes show layers of Crem that have hardened to up to 15-foot thick layers on the most eastern storm-faced sides. Innumerable clashes between superhuman beings has left the terrain forever changed, and here we find a young man fighting. More like struggling for survival. Dozens of regiments, 10 battalions each, over 10,000 men and women, boys and girls, struggle against the surges of red lightning and churning stone. Overwhelming screams of agony and glory, clashing of metal, and echoes of thunder can be heard for miles. Motion spread fills the ground and the air in a polychromatic dance. And yet, as every soldier knows, only one smell remains on the battlefield. Blood. Nazir, do you want to introduce yourself?
Nazir, despite being an Alethi, he has more Asian features. He is dark-skinned, short hair, but stands at a staggering 6'4". He's kind of surrounded by his company of like his soldiers of like around 100, but you know, battle has raged, many have been lost. He's like surrounded by a few men right now, few men and women. He has his plate armor off. It is full of wounds. He's just kind of like in just chainmail. And he's basically just sitting over like the dead body of a singer. And he's kind of seemingly scavenging through the body. And then he finds some blood and then starts painting his face with it.
It's like getting into this mindset of war and battle that you know is what is wanted of you as an Alethi. You have this very intentional desire to sort of meet expectations. Even though you've succeeded so much, you've somehow failed in the eyes of the Alethi around you to be like the right type of Alethi in this time period. Your mind has this great capacity for invention, but it doesn't matter in this era of war. You were born into a world of violence and destruction, and so your options, according to the Alethi, were to fight on the front lines or die. Through your creative tactics, you rose quickly, taking charge of your own company. And within this company, you are sixth in command of the battalion. Focused on heavy infantry and cavalry, you hit the front lines to open corridors and take out the key battle figures that are causing the greatest difficulties on this battlefield. Your oldest brother, Barak, is probably in a war tent planning the next push. The other, Laram, he rides a massive Rashadium on the opposite side of the battlefield. And in this moment, as you like look up from this body, you see streaking volleys of arrows zipping overhead, just whistling. And that was likely a command by Tanaya, your older half-sister. So we cut to later in the battle. You have sweat bleeding away this war paint of blood from your face. You hear this ringing in your ears. Almost all of the sound is blending together into one. You're in a frenzy of battle. And it's hard to even conceive that when you woke this morning, when you ate, when you donned your armor, and even as this army approached the battlefield, you were sixth in command. The thought continues to race through your mind in a loop. You were sixth in command up until the very first moments of this battle. A heavenly one descended from a low cloud like a sky eel out of damnation, instantly severing the head of your battalion lord. That was 5 commanders ago. And so now you struggle to hear your aides screaming, pleading with you to recognize that you are in command now. Give me a survival, leadership, discipline check to snap back to reality.
Well, let's do some discipline. I got a 12.
Let's turn this up. Do a plot die for me. Give me a d6. We can add them in whenever you want, but I think this is the big one. This is the moment.
Okay.
We should have had them with Andy's part.
It's not the clear. It's the success on the Stormlight die. It's the
Opportunity.
Yeah, I forget what the actual symbol. Yeah, it's by opportunity. Yeah.
So you take an opportunity here. It was not a full success. You're still like dazed by the battle going around you. Like none of these noises are fully coming through. Think of flashbang scene in a movie. It's that exact ringing going on as you look around and you see these armies in front of you. You see your own army behind you and you get this opportunity. So what is it that is able to drive you here?
I think in this moment, Nazir's just kind of mumbling to himself. He's just like, nails nuts, this is stupid. Oh, join the army. Alethi likes fighting. Yada yada. I don't care. I really don't want to be here. This isn't fun. I don't like fighting. Killing isn't cool. I like reading, alright? Oh, no, go kill the singers, brother. Now, as like Nail's just kind of like muttering this to himself as these sounds are going off, he kind of looks around. And then, like, he repeats this over and over again. And he's like, nails nuts, this is stupid. Nails nuts, this is stupid. And he just kind of starts getting madder and madder. And then as he kind of finishes, like, putting this paint on his face, he just, like, kind of stands up. All right, let's go finish this. 10 with me. And, like, they kind of know in that moment he's looking for his next target.
Yeah, kind of still unaware of the fact that you are in charge of this battalion. Just thinking it's like the handful of men behind you in your company. You call everybody up to follow you, and you just start trudging forward. You are one man in charge of 800. So we're going to begin this mass warfare combat. You start like building a line. As you start walking towards the army in front of you, you are forming the frontline garrison that is going to try to break through the enemy. Reaching the front line really quickly, let's do a check just to see, like, are you trying to hold the line? Are you trying to push? We can do a discipline, leadership, persuade, or a survival.
Probably push. His goal is to, as he's searching this field, it's kind of like a thing of push through at his side where, like, you're not going to get overrun, and then have your men with heavy shields create, when, like, you're, like, at a dance, like, people create, like, little circles when they're dancing or something, with just really big soldiers with shields to create space after he finds a noteworthy enemy.
You see behind you is Kalth, your shield bearer, the leader of your heavy infantry army. And so he knows the drill. So this seems more like a leadership or a discipline check.
Yeah, I'll give you discipline. That's a 14.
That's enough because these people have no one else to follow. There would be sheer panic without you. And so your determination, your own personal discipline of being able to lock in this way, you are confident enough in your own abilities, and that gives the men behind you confidence. You begin to walk forward. Everybody around you knows that this army no longer has the support of the Radiants. Over the last several decades, they've been systematically exterminated, with none to take their place. Despite all of this, amid this sea of carapist enemies, you see ahead of you, there is one woman who fights alone, personifying valor, preventing morale from completely dispersing. Vedel, herald of light, love, healing. The Alethi-looking edge dancer wields one of the famed honor blades, thin with a curved crossguard, yet over 6 feet long, reflecting a brilliant glowing light off of every surface. She moves less like a human and more like a spread, carried by these unseen forces, gliding and soaring over enemies, trailing a ribbon of long, sleek black hair, felling dozens of enemies with an effortless swing of her arm. the enemy's focus lies more on her than the thousands of troops that stand alongside you. And so you're able to push with just 800 men and begin to form this front line where there's a mosh pit in the center that's made specifically for you to start soloing some of the fused. As you get here to the front line, you start breaking enemies apart, pushing them away. The shield bearers are like bashing individual enemies to get into this circle, and you find yourself face to face with a focused one.
I think in this moment, slapping of the face, slapping of the chest, he's like trying to like get his body re-warmed up. In this battle, it's a lot of fighting, resting, or getting as much rest as one can. I did some jogging over. I'm trying to like get the body back to where it needs to be to just fight as much fury and valor as I can.
Short hops, like neck cracks, arm rolls, and you're ready to get in there. So Nazir, you stand opposite a monster that is significantly larger than you. They are often the tallest and the broadest of the fused, shaped like sumo wrestlers. They're hiding really strong muscles beneath a heavy layer of fat that folds over on itself, and wearing just a simple loincloth. There's no carapace, but many of the overlapped wrappings look like thick belts made of its own hair, black and red, woven with aluminum bands and glowing purple with void light. They are also fairly uncommon forces to see on the front lines, often field commanders who clean up at the end of a battle. Purple, glowing eyes are gazing with hatred and disgust, causing your forces to back up, temporarily losing your footing, and you stand somewhat alone in the front. And with the backing of your army, knowing that, yes, it's kind of a one-on-one, but if you can push him into your shield bearers, they're going to smack the guy and give you, like, somewhat of an advantage. These rings wrap around him like leather belts almost. And as he like closes in on you, they cinch tighter together across his left arm, pulls its arm back, swings forward at you. We can do like a heavy weapons, intimidation. I think leadership would still work here.
I can do heavy weapon if you want me to do heavy weapon.
Yeah, let's just do heavy weapon. Let's swing on the guy.
I do have a question, right? Time changes perspectives and how like certain cultures and stuff move. So at what point are we in this of like the singer's reverence for the dead bodies?
At this point, there is probably a similar cultural thing. At the beginning of the battle, when you're wiping the blood on your face, It's partially as like a disrespectful sign to them.
I'm trying to use it as a means to get in their heads a little bit. So you want heavy weapons? Okay, that's an 11.
We can throw in a plot die here. You want to crank it up?
Yeah, I forget the other one. It's failed but +2.
So this is a complication. So
yeah,
he swings at you hard and you're able to dodge out of the way, but you see behind you there's like a line of your allies that just gets cleaved through. You watch 5 men get thrown to the side and arms ripped off, blood flying into the air, pain spren and rot spren begin to just bloom out of the ground around their bodies. You know several of them died instantly and the others are going to writhe there in agony. But you're in this fighting mode. You're able to ignore that knowledge of the pain behind you and lock in and land a blow. You slide the blade in between these wrappings and you connect with something. As it connects, there's just one little push where you feel the cracking of the gem inside. It shatters and the body just falls flat to the ground. So that's another success here in the mass warfare. With that takedown, you're able to move your troop onto this high ground. You find like a high rock face that has a steep cliff in front of you. Ahead of you still, you see Vedel like fighting in the center of this horde of enemies, glowing radiant and slaughtering hundreds in mere moments. You're able to essentially help flank with her. We can do another heavy weapons. We could do maybe like intimidation here, deception, or maybe just perception, just because you're high up on this rock face.
I think I'll grab the gem heart of the deceased one, focused one, and like kind of hold it, and I can do an intimidation with it. If I'm using the deceased body of one I just killed, would I be granted advantage?
Yeah. With a focused one, those are some top tier frontline fighters. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, nice. I got a nat 20.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so, I mean, we can do an opportunity here. What is the opportunity as you help Vedel flank here?
I'm looking at her flank, and then I think I see. I've been watching this whole time, and this is an impressive fighter. But it gets to a point where I'm like, this looks a little too dangerous, as she's being surrounded, kind of. And I think I just find some, there's always something that you can usually find stand on, maybe broken rock or maybe just some mounds. And I try to find just some slightly elevated platform, and I kind of just have the gem heart in hand, and I just say, look here. And I just smash it on the ground and try to get as much attention as I can. And then as they focus, I think I'm just going to literally blitz forward.
Yeah, so you slam it to the ground, and then in a moment, you launch off of this cliff with the momentum that you have. Falling to the ground, you slide a blade through one enemy right in front of you. You drop that to the side, and you pull out your side sword. You're just slicing through everything you see, a flurry of motion, and around you there's so much motivation of your fighters. The heavy infantryman, a Kalath, he's always right behind you. He's always in your blind spot, protecting you, Michael Orr style, just slamming away these heavy enemies with his shield, bash after bash, and the remaining army starts to funnel in. You've created this perfect corridor. This is what you come to battles to do. You've opened things up. Another volley of arrows shot by your sister's battalion flies overhead and begins to land. You reach Vedel on the front line, even though you keep this distance from her, knowing that sword is longer than she is tall, and the way it dances around the battlefield, if that even comes within inches of you, it might slice off your arm. You pull to a stop here, you create this new mosh pit opening, and you fight for hours. You are in here just nonstop, you and your army, slamming away enemies, bringing them into this circle and dropping them until a mound forms. You find a new high ground, essentially, because of all of the Terrapist enemies that you've dropped here. As all of this goes on, the enemies start to thin out in parts, and Vedel keeps taking out more and more, and then rising from the ground behind you, you hear this horrendous wrenching of earth, the stones grinding against each other as a thunderclast rises from the ground. Glowing red eyes, this thick jaw. It doesn't even need to eat, but it has a mouth purely for smashing humans to bits. And so it begins to move towards all of you. What's the move?
We got any smelling salts or anything? just something I could just...
Yeah, brought to the front lines. Yeah, so your man behind you, he sees that you start to droop on energy a little bit. You're breathing heavily. So Kalth, he comes up to you and he gives you this rock bud venom that you're used to at this point. Giving a little sniff of it, completely toxic if you drink this potion. It's enough to kind of jolt your senses awake again. Yeah, you're looking forward at this Thunderclast, and Vedel, she looks over at you. She does a Link style spin attack, taking out tons of enemies, clears out a little hole for herself, looks over at you, and then the ground beneath her just seems to glow as she slides between enemies, taking off at an incredible speed towards it and sort of summoning you to come with her.
I think Nazir in this moment can't help but just point. It's that one meme where he just point, the guy that points at himself me.
Yeah.
Can't help but even give a little bit of a smile. He's okay, that's okay. He quickly catches himself out of this. Now I gotta get my ass over there.
So you take off, you pretty much go without your army. They can't keep up with you. There's been this corridor that's made. The allies in front of you, each with their shields or with their horses, are pushing enemies away, opening this pathway for you. You charge with nothing stopping you, pure momentum. And as you reach the foot of this Thunderclast, you're able to slice through part of its ankle and wrench away a huge boulder with just one swing of your arm. We can do heavy weapons here. I think that's probably the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, we can do that. You want me to raise the stakes?
Yeah, let's turn it up.
Okay, well my base is 23.
Nice.
and then I got an opportunity.
Not only do you wrench away this boulder, but it's one of the load-bearing pieces, and instead of falling forward, it begins to fall backward. Vedel, she ice skating essentially across the ground. She hits its leg and begins to go fully vertically upward along it, still keeping her feet tight to it, and just running up the side of it, running towards the neck to land a blow through its spine. And as she soars through the air, it's the most majestic thing you've ever seen. This is a god standing among men. She takes it out completely. It drops to the ground, and with that, she looks down at you, gives a little bit of a smile. It's at least 40 feet up in the air. She jumps from its back across the battlefield to another front line. You are here in this corridor made by your allies. Do you keep pushing, or do you pull back?
I'm going to pull back.
As you and your allies begin to pull back, you finally get back from the front line. Another battalion has moved in to take your place. This was your first time leading a battalion, and it was probably the most successful push of the past probably 5 years. You fall to your back, completely exhausted. You have nothing left in you for the rest of the day. You are surrounded by the thousands of thundering legs of allies, fully armor-clad. As they push forward and are pushed back in this ever-moving wave, you see orange hands of Painspren pulling at you, almost trying to pull you into the earth. These hateful emotions, Spren, that are exploding in the atmosphere as men and women clash. And through the air, you see these unseen currents of wind pull a rockbud vine from a tree. It just floats very gently and then comes to rest on your chest. Every sense begins to fade. A feeling of relief sets in. The noises of battle dim. The ringing in your ear finally stops, and everything is gone except that terrible, rancid smell of blood that's pooling around you. It lingers, and up above it all, a glowing green dot, Mishin, the third and smallest of the moons, stops directly in front of the sun, like an eye peering down at you.
I think it's kind of like a soft smog. Yeah, I need a rest. THUNDERCLAST ain't got Crim on me.
Everything goes black. We move now to the Horneater Peaks. They have been greatly benefited by their inaccessibility, isolation. However, desolation does not discriminate. It comes for all. Peak is a misnomer, though, because at the top we see that this mountain does not have a single highest point, but an icy ring around it, almost as if a spoon carved this perfect valley for its residents. In the center lies a still lake, the surface undisturbed like a sheet of emerald glass, exhaling this calm steam. Surrounding the lake is a lush green vegetation alive with life spren, and around that resides a circular village with multiple independent radial districts. The one for farming, there's industry for the third sons and the craftsmen. There's the hospitality region, of course, for welcoming visitors. The commerce section that surrounds the beautiful lake. Walking the rim of this hot spring lake, we find a young girl, largely unaware of the events unfolding across this planet, safeguarded from the many horrors of war by the Unkalaki soldiers that protect the ice fields at the base of these mountains, far away from the villagers. For her, the daily struggle for survival is not against an undying army, but something potentially much, much worse. Idiot older brothers. They reject their birth order and their endowment. Allie, you want to introduce yourself?
Luca is about 5'9", very lithe and muscular, dark red hair and 2 braids down to her waist, very strong, angular features, heavily freckled with light tan eyes. She has very prominent vitiligo, most noticeable on her forearms and her calves. It's kind of like a marbled, almost a singer-like pattern, a little bit on her face as well. She has, as always, her bow on her back, wearing very standard, sturdy clothing, walking right along the lake where she is. Her responsibility is to watch, guard, and always be present for the strangers that sometimes come up.
Though you are the youngest of 3, Your brothers, who should be doing the most essential work of farming and hunting, leave this responsibility to you. They fail to meet the standards that should be met by someone of your more prominent family. The responsibility of this entire clan seems to lie upon your shoulders. That's something you feel every day. And the other children your age, especially the girls who have yet to take their aptitude test with the new Atoma, are all out playing. They pass your daily circumnavigation of this lake. Brambles of untamed red tassels and curls flow around you as this group of children run around the lake in pure whimsy. Blue leaves of joy spren trail behind as swirls of laughter spren explode ahead of them. You hear these bouts of giggling. How you feel seeing this?
Hey, you! You don't have better things to do? You go train. Why are you over here playing? There are better things to do with your time. Please, go. I have very sacred duty here.
They giggle to each other. They look like they've been castigated a little bit, but they don't really feel bad about it. This is just a normal day. There's nothing special about today. There's no weekend here. Every day is a weekend. And so they continue to run and have fun and dance around. Give me a perception check here.
I yell after them, who are your parents? And I get a 19 perception.
Okay, nice. Before it even comes, you know that Icy is behind you. She's like trying to kind of sneak up on you.
I kind of crouch down really low, really fast, pivot, and tackle forward.
Fully lay her out on her back, and she was just like, how did you know?
Oh, you thought you could sneak up on me? No. You know that you could never do that. I've been besting you since we were young once.
I thought I would get you today. You've been guarding the pool all day. Let's go. I'm bored. Hunting.
Are you sure? I don't know if I can leave without reprimand.
Yes, I'm sure. No one will notice. No one ever notices.
Okay. Let's go. And I turn to one of the other guards, probably like quite a distance away. We keep ourselves pretty spaced out. I yell, hey, would you please watch my section just for a moment? I must attend to my duties in the forest out there.
You just see the classic OK symbol, which is only used up here in the Horneater Peaks.
So I would say, just as like a fun little flavor, I think it's just they just hold up a fist with one pinky in the air.
Oh, I love it. That's your OK symbol for sure. As you make your way up this hike up to the rim, which takes a solid 45 minutes to an hour, what are the small jobs that you attend to on the way?
Well, I double check on all of the gardens that I can walk past, making sure all of the crops are looking healthy. A few don't. I have to pick off some beetles and scold the children that are supposed to be learning to take care of this. It's very important. You should be paying more attention to this. I had to pick off beetles myself. What, do you think I can be everywhere all the time? Then I keep on going.
Yeah, they nervously chuckle to themselves, and a couple of the younger ones pull on your work robes and are just like asking for help with something, and you get distracted. This normal hike that should take about an hour, we're like 2.5 hours in by the time you finally make it there. And Icy, she doesn't do much along the way except pick fruits from the trees and just kind of lounge, knowing that this is what you do.
I think when children bother me a little bit, I scold them, but then at the end, I like pick them up and swing them in a circle. And I set them back down. Like, oh, just please do better next time.
We will. And with all of your jobs completed for the day, you still feel like there's so much more to do, but you take great pride in the hard work and dedication and the way you approach everything with vigor. Coming at least in part due to your frustration from your brothers, you feel this sense of completion, wholeness. As we leave the rim of this valley, what is it that you're hunting?
So the first thing I have to do is stop at the communal shack where we keep all of our equipment. I must change out of my very comfortable everyday clothes into very, very smelly hunting clothes that we all share between us. I wrinkle my nose at the horrid smell that's coming out of the boots, and put them on anyway. I always have my short bow, but I equip myself with my personally made longbow, and I head down into the forest with my best friend, Icy. We have to go quite a ways. We don't hunt until we're a little further down into the ice, and I try to pick up the trail of a pack of trolls, which must certainly be around here somewhere.
And of course, those chull are attracted somewhat to that smell. It's kind of different. They don't have hearing apparatus like we imagine, like with deer. You can't do like a deer call to get the chull to come to you. It's more about them having this scent on the wind, which always comes with the danger of attracting maybe something worse. White spines, or, one of the famed cryptids of the mountains up here, which many have claimed to see, though you have never, and you probably spend more time out here than most.
Absolutely, indeed, I do. I can make a roll for it, but I do believe me and my friend do pick up a trail of trolls in the snow. They leave a very prominent track. I crouch right next to the trails, give it a good old and I sit right on my haunches, kind of crouched, hands in front of me like in a prayer position, and I sit with my eyes closed for 1 full minute, gathering in everything around me. I get the scent, I look at the trails, and finally, when I think that I've got it, I stand up and just say, "Oh, this way."
Icy hits you with a snowball, waiting for the second that you pop
I'm rolling
back
for
up.
that.
Yeah, okay.
I'm rolling for that.
Let's just do a simple speed check here.
Oh, that is a 21, baby.
Hers was terrible. So in your meditation, you took the extra 2 seconds after you were done, like still pretending to meditate. You made a snowball. You pop up. You just move your head to the side, knowing that it's coming right for the back of your head. And underhand behind you, no look, you toss it back and right in the chest. You are an incredible huntress. You've seen this trick 1,000 times. Again, Icy, she falls back into the snow and just is laughing. "You're ridiculous. Luca, you always get me."
Ooh, you really think you could get me that time? Oh, maybe next time, friend, you can try again. I welcome a challenge.
Someday I'm gonna get you. Using your hunter's quarry, you're able to very quickly track this chull that is sort of lumbering towards you very slowly as you're downwind of it. So let's just do your first bow shot.
So I will be rolling, I believe it's a d20 with a +3.
Is it light weapon or heavy weapon?
It's light weapon.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a 6.
No.
Oh wait, I get advantage.
Right? Yeah.
I do get advantage. Oh, that's a 20. Wait, math. 22.
Through this vigorous determination, you prove with a single shot from your bow your great virtuosity at this skill, just as with every skill that you take on. You drop the chull in a single shot. You and Icy get to work packaging the pieces that you need, leaving what you know is necessary for the growth of the mountain to cultivate the food underneath, which the chulls eat up here. Because though there's this thick layer of snow, so there's the top layer of snow. Beneath that is a layer of ice that has formed from deep below that up against the mountain. There is this layer of grass that chulls eat, or rock buds and other types of flora that grow naturally on the mountain, because the mountain itself emanates so much heat. It creates this layer of life below the snow, which melts a lot of that snow down and forms that icy layer. You know what to leave, you know what to take, and what you're able to get back safely. You and Icy pack it all up into your different satchels and begin to return to the rim. You know, like this season of the year, you don't have to worry too much about those ice flows or dangerous sheets that can send you all the way down the mountain. You return to the rim. You built up a sweat from this somewhat arduous hike that Horneaters rarely make. You find respite in the very hot, dense, and humid air that makes up your home village as you crest the rim of your valley. Passing the orchard, you quickly tend to the fruit trees with a light pruning. The life sprint dance, and it feels almost like they honor your steadfast dedication. What kinds of fruits are you seeing?
We have, of course, the mountain fruit. Very simple. Sort of looks like a banana, but it has the peel of an orange, so it's got like that rind on it. All you have to do, you squeeze it right in the middle, and the fruits will shoot out either end. There is also just a papaya tree. We just have, papayas.
Yeah, you call them papayas. They just are straight up papayas. These are all very hot weather growing fruits. They grow only here in this very intense climate refusing to grow anywhere else on Roshar, or so you've heard. You've never left the immediate hunting region of this peak. You and Icy, you stand on this high outer hillside ring, elevated far above the buildings of your town, everything slanting downwards towards the lake in the center. You hear the joyous cacophony of voices below carrying upwards in vague echoes that all meld together, and the wind crests the peak's outer rim, carrying a cloud of windspread that swirl around you in a beautiful dance. Give me an agility or a persuasion check.
While they swirl around me, I go, oh, little gods, good to have you here. And I roll a 14.
You dance with them, you join them, and they stay with you for a while, almost forming this cloak around you. You hear Icy just say, I wish the wind gods loved me as much as they love you. What am I doing wrong? She just laughs and kind of just like kicks back, and she just loves spending time with you because there's something special about you. She can tell, and everybody around you seems to like tell you that something is special about you, and they eventually, after this time that you spend together with the little gods, they fly off down the hillside and dive into the lake. The ground shudders audibly, silencing the chatter of the marketgoers and the children at play. Residences and buildings made of both stone and wood collapse inward, met by the screams of those inside. Thatched roofs of straw begin to alight in flames, engulfing both the residential and market districts, as flames spread, erupt, and grow, sharing in a new type of dance, a more dangerous dance of destruction. Panic immediately grips the peaceful villagers, who begin to run in every direction, trying to find their family, get home in time to protect personal belongings. This singular moment, you see fear spread erupt. Fear has replaced the Unkalaki values of hospitality with self-interest.
By the grace of the Spren, what is going on? Everyone, don't panic, follow the drills. Everyone in a single file line, go find your families, you'll find your children, grab what you need, and exit in an orderly fashion. And I'm like screaming this, and I turn and I just start sprinting towards the lake.
Give me a disadvantaged leadership.
Okay, so it's a 17... Oh, and a natural one.
Ooh! Not only does the panic gripping everybody make them ignore you, people begin to just start running into you. They knock you to the ground. You and Icy are pulled apart. I was going to ask if you are going to stay with her or split, but you are fully pushed apart from each other. She begins to start panicking too, and is clearly going towards her home, which is on the other side of the lake from you. You begin to run down towards the lake, and as you run, there's another rumbling. Please give me an athletics check.
14.
You're able to stay on your feet and not just like tumble and fall into the lake. You like stumble forward a little bit and are able to stop yourself, and you're trying to keep yourself from going in because you're really not supposed to touch it. I'm going to say in this moment, as you begin to like really panic and knowing your family very well, is there anyone in your family you would want to like hunter's quarry and just kind of know where they are, or like have a better chance at finding them? Or are you focused on like the lake? Is your intention focused on like making sure nothing happens here?
So when all this happens, my immediate thought goes to my brothers. Who knows what they're doing, probably just sitting around, but I know that they've never been great at taking care of themselves. I think that I would say I've probably done this for her before, so I don't know if I have to take the full minute, but I am probably going to look for my aunt, the Kuala'iiki, because I know that her and my father, if they're not together, then she is going to take charge in a situation like this to make sure people are evacuating properly. So I think I would do that for her.
You're able to use your hunter's quarry and just kind of know where she is. This is something that you're used to doing, just kind of this awareness of the town. You come down to the center and you look up and you see around you the panic, the fires rising, the collapsing buildings, and just beyond one of them, you see your aunt. She stands like at the center post of the town that kind of directs visitors where to go. She's trying to get everybody's attention. She's standing as high as she can. Your father stands near her and is trying to calm people down, but everybody continues to run in each direction, refusing to listen to anybody. Are you going to head towards them?
No, I'm going to keep going towards the lake. I know they can take care of this. And I whisper to myself, like, if anyone is more capable, then I am breathing the heavy air.
You make your way down to the center of the lake, and you see that the normally very calm, glassy layer of water at the top. It's undulating, it's moving. There's almost a pulsing, a pounding to it, a rhythm coming out of it. The turquoise green pool erupts, jetting a pillar of steaming water hundreds of feet high. A massive spren rises through the center of the column. It's impossible to make out through the turbulent flow, but there is something in there, and in the center of this being, something opens like an eye beginning to look at you. The flow continues. Heavy droplets begin to pour down across the entire village, smothering fires in this great act of preservation. And the warm rain, it starts to smack down heavily on the stone walkways, drowning out the screams, almost this relaxing pattern of white noise. Your mind comes out of this fight or flight to see that the day has become night. Up above it all, the light of the blue moon Gnomon, largest of the three, fully eclipses the sun, and you grow cold. Your eyes roll to the back of your head, and everything goes black. Each of you simultaneously feels a strangeness. The wind has ceased, odors and noises vanish. Your feet rest upon a perfectly flat ground that feels truly alien. The dark gray sky shimmers. You don't remember it ever shimmering like that. And before you, the obsidian ground cuts off in a cliff, becoming an endless sea of small beads. Thick strands of clouds rippling towards the horizon meet the golden outline of a yellow sun dotting the otherwise dark velvet sky. It normally radiates no warmth, but to one familiar with Shadesmar, there's a noticeable chill as the three moons of Roshar, Salar, Gnomon, and Mishim, perfectly stacked like plates, smallest to largest, eclipsing the sun. You all stand here at the edge of a land strip, but not alone. There are many who seem as deeply confused and afraid as you might. Giant spren like none you've ever seen crawl, fly, and swim towards the gathered group. What spren do you feel that you're each attracting?
Terror spren.
Yeah, huge red beasts that have jagged, like wings.
Fear and terror spren just surrounding me. I'm still laid prone on the floor.
You come into this on your back, same as Nazir.
I'm hyperventilating, just mortified from the closing my blood-covered eyes, just terrified of my new surroundings.
I've definitely got Osprey. I know what this is. I have never been here, but I know what this is. I have been wanting this my whole life. And I drop to my knees and I'm just kind of silently looking around.
All right, what do all spread normally look like?
Yeah, they look like
I know
outside,
they're a thing.
They're like blue smoke, and they kind of look like Kalos a bit.
As a true seer, you see like the blue smoke, but beneath that you see the full body that's almost a candle filling itself out and kind of creating that smoke. And then Nazir, what are you seeing?
I got curiosity spread. They're like spiked orbs.
The orb itself is kind of like the chest, where there's a bunch of like radial pieces, like maybe triangles that appear outside of that. You see like the full body of those. You understand inherently, having lived on Roshar your whole lives, you know the feeling of drawing these emotions towards you. You see the same color and similar shapes, but these are different. They're bigger. These are the true forms of these spren. And as you guys look around you, let's just do, everybody give me a perception check here.
Is that okay? Yeah.
15.
4.
13.
You see
Hold on. Can I raise the stakes?
Everybody raise it. Let's add some.
Yes,
some
okay,
of these,
that's
plot
actually...
die. Let's turn it up.
I got nothing. It's just the same exact thing.
Oh, I got a 1.
Wait, how do you...
Yeah, it's a D6.
Okay.
1 and 2 are complications, and 4 and 6 are opportunities, and then 3 and 4 are
Okay,
nothing.
yeah, I got a 1.
All right, so you both get to add 2 to your roll if you rolled a 1. You double the number, so it's a 1 is a +2, and then a 2 is a +4. 15 and a 17. So we'll start with Nazir. You are panicked. You're coming out of this, and it's not like smelling salts. This is a kick, as you would call it in Inception. This is like you fell backwards in your chair and you're fully awake, but you're so panicked that you can't even grasp anything that's going on around you. You see the sun. You see the moons that are blocking it. You see that there's this sea of beads in front of you. You look forward at that and you feel like if you fell in, you could fall for infinity. And the ground below you, it's too smooth. It's too weird and wrong. And none of it makes sense to you. You have no storming clue what's going on right now. The Pako, with your 15, you're able to look around. You see that there are many people lined up on this strip of land. It's very thin. If you fell backwards too far, you could go back into it. If you went forward, you would fall into the sea of beads. And moving along, you see that there are some figures that are way too large to be human. You see that there's just strange outlines of people. It's so dark in here, it's kind of hard to really parse what's going on. But you do see that the Spren freeze. They've been moving towards you guys, but they've maintained sort of a barrier around you. Maybe it's not that they froze, it's that they stopped moving inward. With the 17, Luca, you see that there is an outline of a chasm fiend. There's some Rashadium, and you see that there's two people around you. There's a Herdazian to your left, and there's a very dark-skinned Alethi to your right. With that, Luca, you're also seeing that these are Spren in their true forms. You're beginning to understand the world very differently in this moment. Which Spren do you think is surprising you the most?
Probably. It's a really good question. Probably the Curiosity Spren. I've seen a lot of them in the physical realm, but I could never have imagined what they looked like here.
What do Curiosity Spren normally look like? It's small iridescent spiked orbs. What you see in normal life is this small iridescent sphere, but what you see right now, this is why it entices you the most. It's almost like a little frog, which you wouldn't know what frogs are, but it's like a kind of carapace-like frog. There's several legs here and there.
Maybe I do.
What you're seeing is the anglerfish antenna, and at the tip of that anglerfish antenna is the iridescent sphere that usually is the one drawing your attention in the physical world, in the material realm.
Oh, this is exactly what I thought it might be. Hello, Reverend One.
And they're too far away from you to like at all respond to that. Though there's such different forms from how they usually present in the physical world, you very quickly begin to connect each to what they truly are. Pako, do you have any Herdazian sayings about something like this?
You know, when you wake up in a dark room surrounded by Spren, really the only thing to do is run away. And he tries to run and tries to run away.
Do you say that out loud? I want to hear you, but if you don't.
Yeah, no, he says it out loud.
Before you even notice like the area behind you, this is when you turn around and you see that like if you run away, you're going into the sea of beads.
Pako looks down at the sea of beads and goes, well, another thing that Herdazians generally do is see how it plays out. I'm just gonna sit here. This is weird. So is Pako still experiencing the pain of being slashed in the legs?
No, actually. All of your pain has disappeared, but you do see your knee is a bit wonky now.
Like my knee is wonky and my like calf is shredded up. But is it healed?
It's like a broken nose where it's like that thing is never going to be straight again.
And then Pako tries to reset it like he's done in years past and just doesn't budge. And he goes, this is going to ruin the running for me, but can't knock down Herdazian that long.
Wait, friends, do you need some help?
Who are you? You can see me. You're not a Spren.
No, I'm Luca, and I know much of medicine. Can I lend you a hand?
And he has a flashback to seeing his friend's hand get cut off. Best not. No, I'm good.
Okay.
Nazir, do you want to give me a deduction check?
Wait, can I just say like under my breath? Oh, something a Losik Erlander would say.
I'm gonna roll with disadvantage. Nazir's just fully on all fours, just dry heaving.
Yeah, you are dry heaving, but like anything that does come up, it's going into the sea of beads, and you can see like the spittle dropping into it, and just it disappears. It's gone as they like wave over each other and clatter, making this almost like rain-like sound as they like slamming together.
I'm just whispering nails, nuts, nails, nuts, nails, ugh, nails, ugh. That's a 13, and the other one is a 15, so 13.
You also don't feel the pain that you previously did. The dry heaving is just a confusion. You're able to pull yourself out of that a bit. Stand up kind of straight. You, as if you're in Alethela, you're able to kind of tighten your uniform again, stand up straight, puff your chest out. You look around. That's more Rashadium than you've ever seen. That's Chasm Fiend, which you have seen before, but you've stayed the fuck away from it, the storms away from it. It's so huge relative to you and in this space, but looking down this line, you see that everybody's confused. There are other people dry heaving, but it's a very straight lineup. It's almost as if you've all been very intentionally placed here. And as you begin to conceive of like what would be the thing, how are we all here? What is making this happen? Children of honor and cultivation. Today, the world ends. And in front of you, you see billowing clouds form into an ever-moving face, ancient and regal, immeasurably vast, containing an almost human face with long white hair. You feel an intense gaze from these inhuman eyes, glowing and crackling with lightning, a source of blue light that you all know so well. And so the voice begins again. In its place, a new world will be born, prepared and shaped by each of you. Simultaneously, from the sea of beads, a female corporeal figure ascends, almost as immense in size, but noticeably smaller somehow. She has a dark brown skin, black curly hair, and a perfectly imperfect afro, wiry clothing that seems to weave into her skin, scaly, and the edges of her being are imperceptible, dark as night. While the storm releases a patterned wave of stormlight, she instead contains a distinct but complementary green light. It's impossible to tell how far off in the distance they truly are in such a bizarre space. They each speak or somehow project their intention in a distinctive rhythm. And behind them rises a mountainous tower of coalesced light, shining like a false dawn, becoming true sunlight. Infused like a sphere, a glowing glass clone of the physical tower of Urithiru, overpowering in its vastness, glowing with a fractured variety of 1,000 colors, changing moment to moment to different hues, and release this third pattern, third tone, or a light. The heralds have returned to Braze, giving each of you time to prepare this new world for the upcoming war. The 90 of you, 10 of each bond, will be the first radiance of this new world. Each of you has already been chosen by a spren and have begun the formation of a bond, though you may not know it. Much closer to you, but still out in the distance, you see the shadowed outline of 3 figures, each with uniquely carved staves and hats. Bondsmiths 3, behold your king candidates, each with the potential to rule this new world. Conquerors and collaborators, collectors and destroyers, those who wish to rule through dominion or mercy, no two alike in ideology or belief, and none who will be unchanged at the end of their journey. The Oath Gates will function for those who acquire shard blades. However, Urithiru will remain inaccessible until the 4th ideal is sworn. There, your final test will take place. And likely, the final contest will conclude, determining who will stand atop this world as its king. Find harmony with your Spren partner. Develop devotion to your ideals. Find the most important words a man can say. And with that, the three figures disappear, but the three shadows remain, staring at you. You can't see their eyes, only these outlines. Can we get deduction or lore checks from everybody?
I'm going to do a lore.
Me too. 19.
12.
12. I'm gonna do deduction there.
So we'll start with the lore. With the 12 and the 19, you both understand that these are like the gods of your world. You may not know the true history or the secret histories of this world, but you do know that there's something deeper here. These beings are beyond anything that you've encountered before, and they are declaring that each of you will be king candidates. That means something deep in your soul, like that phrase itself kind of resonates. You know that this is the day that a new world will be born. You know that something has changed in the world that is so dramatic. You don't know what Braze is. You don't know what it means for the heralds to be gone, but you do know that over the last several desolations, there's these stories of the heralds disappearing and then coming back. You must prepare this new world, and you know that maybe this will mean that the war will end, that we're going to be in a time of peace. With the deduction, Nazir, you know that the three beings standing in front of you are people you need to impress. As someone who spent your whole life trying to impress both the Azish and the Alethi, you are used to expectation being placed on you like this. You know that you are being tested in this moment, and you're very used to this. You're used to playing the role that you're needed to play. And as you're all taking this in, as everybody around you is taking this information in, you're so confused. There's a million thoughts running through your heads. The Stormlord has finished speaking, but almost instantaneously a figure steps out of line onto the sea of glass, which somehow expands underfoot. Stormlight streams out of him, making a platform with each step. You all glow here, but Storms, he is shining radiant. A young man no older than 15, shorter than most here, wearing commoner's rags, though it's really hard to notice beneath the light. You can't tell if his hair is really that golden or it's accentuated by the light. And he gazes forward with this incredibly wide smile, and he declares, I'm going to be king. I'm going to be the king of the world. Everyone's just too stunned to even laugh because he means it. As he gets out, he takes more steps forward, and then he gets up higher. He turns to all of you and just excitedly, all right, I've made up my mind. I'm going to be known as the man who forges this new world. Come find me. Join me. Together we're going to make a world of peace. I'm Synderim of Iriali. Don't you forget it. And a flock of bird-like yellow spren break through this barrier, and they swirl together, and in the sky, they're flying around this boy's head, the golden sphere of glory spren, surrounded by these wings that you've never seen before, and these antennae that spring from them. Storms, you have never known so many glory spren to have existed like this. You see one or two at a time. There's dozens. And then nearby, the three of you, you just hear a, what ambition from that young man. I love the hot-blooded passion of youth. And you see this very confident, tall Alethi man with bright violet eyes, perfect posture, and he like flashes this infectious grin down at all of you. He stands much taller than you all. He's like, now this is getting exciting.
Why is Mike Guy in our Stormlight Archive campaign?
Shut up!
Wait, can I just do an insight on both of these two dudes real quick?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything
can I
else
also do that,
yeah.
please?
Well, I was going to make a quip.
Oh, go for it.
I look over and to who's right next to me? Is it Luca?
You're right next to Luca. Yeah, the tall Horneater woman, young lady.
That Narco's crazy.
I don't know what to think of him. He seems to know. He seems to know the gods quite well.
I'm quite afraid of him.
He seems like he knows what he's doing. Maybe we should listen for a moment.
Potentially.
Turns away. Does not say anything else.
Yeah.
Very reverently listening.
Pako just kind of sits down and spreads his legs out, puts his hands behind his back.
I got a dirty 20.
What are you looking for right now? You're just looking at the two men around you?
Yeah, no, Nazir is going to do an action real quick. But before that, Nazir's thing is in this moment. I think when he sees Kid and he says that, I think the first thing he thinks of is just like pure disgust. Who in the world is this guy? I don't think Nazir's ever like had like oh yeah, you want to rule and stuff, because it always just brings more battle and death, which is more than he thinks is good for the world. So I think it's just like pure disgust for the kid. I think he's trying to see is this a kid that like new to the world? Oh, I can do this thing, or is this like a kid that has any actual level of real world experience?
So I think you realize instantly that the man next to you is right. This is the hot-blooded passion of youth. This is a foolish boy, and so you're probably the first one in line with that high enough check to just kind of like laugh at him. And maybe it starts like a rolling laugh throughout some of the crowd out here.
Hey,
I do not laugh.
my cousin's a king. There's no way he could be a king over my cousin.
You were laughing at the voice of the spread. Maybe watch yourself.
I won't laugh, but can I stand on the glass and like walk towards him?
Let's do it. You have drawn in investiture in this moment. This is the first time you've intentionally like felt that there is investiture in you. Let's see what kind of role do we want to do here?
I'm trying to think out of these checks, which one is spiritual? You want me to do like survival?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Because that's awareness. It's spiritual. It has I guess I can raise the stakes too. Might as well.
Yeah, no, let's turn it up. We're here in Shadesmar. It's time to crank it.
That's one.
Holy shit! No way.
And an opportunity.
And an opportunity,
Yeah, actually.
dude. Holy shit. Okay. No, just tell me what you want to do. As you step out here, like the platforms form underneath you.
And then before that, for the insight on the other guy, quick question: do I know that Alethlin man?
We can do a lore check.
Yeah, I'll do a quick lore check because that's also going to probably factor into what I'm going to say after I do this thing with this kid. 12, 15 or more.
He'll look to you, and as you step out, he's like, quite tall there for a Makabaki. Strong. Well put together. A worthwhile ally, I'd say. I'm not gonna forget your face there, friend. Come and find me in Alethkar and ask for Sabariel, master of the Flame Stance School. Best duelist in the nation. And he just does a little salute to you. If you defeat me, one on one, I'll join with you. Otherwise, you're joining with me. I look forward to our contest.
I just shake my head, nails nuts, as I walk towards the kid. I think as I walk to like the kid, there's a thing of like I don't even know how to explain like the emotion. It's like a little bit of like annoyance, a little bit of disgust, and a little bit of this kid has no idea what he's doing. This seems like a big stage. As I'm walking, I'm like I think there's just the flashbacks of the battle that just happened. Losing my friends, losing my men, fighting with the Herald. And I think like once I stand next to how tall is the kid?
He's shorter than you, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
he's like a boy, and he's wearing commoner's rags.
So I'm gonna like kind of like tower over him as I just look down, and I'm gonna say, "You want to be king of the world."
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, "And what have you done with your life? What value have you brought to the world around you?" And then I'm gonna kind of like look around to everybody, and I'm gonna say, "I've fought the Singers. I've fought with a Herald. I've helped slain a THUNDERCLAST. Who of you is better than me? You're not worthy of being kings. You're all simple people that want to be better than what they are. War is not good. Battle isn't good. How about you, I don't know, go home, read a book, and try to actually help people around you in a better way? and I'm going to look back at the kid and say, grow up a little bit, okay? The world's bigger than you now. And I'm just going to kind of like walk back.
Every sentence you say, he looks like he's about to say something. He opens his mouth to try to like speak over you, but your commanding presence, this the opportunity along with the nat 20, like double opportunity here. You just overpower this situation. He just smiles at you, and as you go back, he just kind of locks eyes with you, and this is a pure rivalry that has formed here. This is like Gary and Ash. He like smiles and he's just like, this guy knows how to read. And that's all he could say. And like with that, you see another figure begin to step out. He's in full carapace armor. It's different from Singer carapace. This is like built off of slain foes of like great shells and other types of like massive carapace beasts, because it's many colors, showing that he's defeated not only chasm fiends but unirigs and white spines, all of this sewn together into a scaly armor. And he begins to step out and he says, this boy has fought nothing compared to me. He has like long black hair that streaks behind him, a goatee pointed in black, very Fire Lord Ozai looking. As he begins to step out, he's going to also lock eyes with you and begin walking forward. And he just says, I'm not here for any of you. Bondsmiths, look to me for the future king of your world. I'll show you what it means to dominate.
Pako rolls his eyes and looks over at Luca. You know this guy.
It's funny that you say that, considering that he's a Rishir, and you know this man. You know that this is one of the warlords of Rishir. He's a man that sent his fleets against you as you conquered Herdaz. You barely recognize him though, because it's not much business to you. So at the same time, Paco, you're kind of like you're leaning back, you're looking around the crowd as people are kind of beginning to mingle, and you see a young woman picks up a baby that's clearly not hers, that was just laying on the ground, not whining or crying, just staring at the horizon in awe. And you hear a voice near you, Voon Makak. He really cursed me this time. And you see from this male that is very clearly from the Pure Lakes, and he's sitting in the exact same pose as you, hands behind his head, leaning back on this uncomfortable stone ground, except he found a little bit of a better rock than you.
Oi, what's your name?
You can call me the true man.
All right. Well, what do we do now?
I don't know. Voon Makak, this is what I get for praying to a god to punish me. Sort of worshipped his brother, you know?
I've been kind of looking around for a religion.
Oh, well, don't join my religion. I shouldn't even be talking about it. Boone McCock, praise him. May he curse me. All that good stuff.
It seems as though you worship that guy, and you and I are both in the same spot. And I was trying to worship trees the other day. Kind of makes you think,
Yeah, trees. We only got rock buds back at the Pure Lake, but if I didn't, if I weren't here, I'd be just back at the Pure Lake and not listening to all these fantasy stories from up there. Wait.
Yeah, you fish over there.
There was three of them gods, right?
Yeah. As far as I can tell.
Any gods that you know?
No, not. Well, can I do an insight?
For sure.
See if he knows any of them. Well, I reckon. I got a 16.
Yeah, when you say honor, he's like, don't really care much for it.
Yeah, well, considering you're worshipping a god of pain,
Oh, yeah. Well, we worship him, and then he does stuff like this to me. I don't know. Only gods I know, two brothers, not three. I ain't never heard of three gods, so I'll tell you what.
That seems like a lot.
Too many gods for me.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, while these two idiots are talking behind you, Luca, how are you reacting to the almighty Spren? You already worship Spren with a godlike reverence. How do you feel about these three massive spren that have blessed you and told you that you in particular are special, like your family has told you this whole time.
So honestly, not great. This is like way too much all at once. I am used to seeing, a few spren. I'm not supposed to. I've never seen anything like this before. I would never deign to speak to them first. I would wait for them to speak to me. So I'm just fully like on my knees, kind of bowed, peeking up, been whispering to myself this whole time, but I am not addressing them.
Does Pako overhear it? Can I do a perception check? To hear what
Perception,
she's
yeah.
Yeah. I guess it'd be to like understand, because she's like right next to me. I got a 13.
In this place, a bond has been made between everyone here. You can all understand each other. So yeah, you do understand the words that she's saying. Yeah, what is Luca saying here as she whispers in prayer?
She's just whispering, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm here right now. This, Spren, please hear my prayer. I am here to serve you. I will do whatever I have to do to help me and my people. Please do not rain your fury upon us. It seems as though lots is going on."
Nako. I think that.
Hello?
Yeah. I was just talking to this guy over here, and him and I both agree that we don't really know what's going on, and I'm sure they can hear you, but we can also hear you. So what you're doing is kind of weird. That guy that walked outside and said he was going to be a king, the guy that seems like he reprimanded him for what? What are you putting the pieces together for? What's going on here?
And I mutter to myself, I go, "Oi, Airsec lowlanders listening to things that they should not be commenting on. Oi." And like I know you can hear me say that.
Yeah, and as you comment on the airsick lowlanders, you're here like almost fully like prostrate, kind of doing your prayer position on the ground, kneeling. And in this chaos, you miss that. I'm going to say that Paco sees this. An axehound trots right up to you on its 6 legs and kind of like licks at your hand. It sees that you're in somewhat distress.
And me?
You notice it only as soon as you feel this very dry, coarse tongue like run along your arm.
Who is that? Oh, hello. Hi, sweet thing. Oh, hi. I'm quite busy at the moment. The gods have been speaking to us here. Hello, sweet thing. I give him little pets on the head, and I'm like, this is not the best time.
And as you say gods, it kind of turns its head at you, and as you pet its head, the 2 antennae on top of its head peel down to the side at Yoda ears. It's going to walk around in some circles, just kind of lie back down on its haunches in a similar prayer position to you, and like look up at you and kind of make a clicking rhythm of a hum.
Oh, my friend, you are so sweet. You're clearly not airsick. Oh, you clearly have the blessings of the Spren. I shall call you prayer. And I lay back down in my position.
I love it.
And this guy next to me just does not seem to understand. And I turn over to Pako, and
Pako is currently trying to get something out from underneath his really hard fingernails. It's like sort of just picking her. He does not care that he's in Shadesmar. Once he realized that he is no longer dying, he's just sort of like trying to think about what to do next.
What? Oi, you.
Eh?
You do not seem to care about the sacred place we are in. Who are you?
Well, I'm Pako. The Pako. You know.
The Pako.
Yeah. That's my name. Don't wear it out. There's only one of me. And I'm assuming there's only one of you.
Indeed. Yes, there's just me.
You think of yourself as part of a unit, generally, as like, you have to hold down the clan, but as he's like, there's only one of you, you kind of realize, like, yeah, maybe there is only one of me.
Yes, there is just me.
So, the Luca, who's your friend?
How do you know my name?
You just introduced yourself to the dog, I think.
There's no such thing as dogs, Andy.
You just introduced yourself to the Axehound, I think.
Oh, I guess you can hear what I say. That is quite true.
Yeah, you're quite loud.
It is generally considered impolite to listen on others' conversations, but
Not where I'm from.
I
That's how
digress.
you get most of the fun jokes.
Oh, you want to hear a fun joke, do you?
Well, lay it on me.
What what do you get when you cross a chol with a rock?
Don't know.
The same thing.
And at that moment, Pako just gets up. He walks over to those in the beads and he goes, "All right, well, it seems like you three are in charge. What do we do now?"
Wait, I follow behind him and I tap him on his shoulder and I go, I don't think you really understood the joke, so let me explain it again.
It all began on that day, the day the world ended. Among all living beings on Roshar, only 90 were chosen. 10 of each bomb. No more, no less. From Knights of Desolation, Prologue.
The Knights of Desolation are Andy Cotton as the Pako, Myles Johnson as Nazir Alethlin, Ali Lester as Lukai'kualinaki'ashalor, and me, Noah Tubbs, as everything else. Cover art by the incredible Aria Barra, at ARIIRF_ on Twitter. Music by Net Denizen Lane, aka Lane. And special thanks to Arjun Joshi, my deputy DM. Thank you for listening. Smash those like and subscribe buttons. You can find us on Twitter at 4Cremlings with the number 4. If you have any suggestions for names, flora, fauna, new spren, Silver Kingdom's era lore, or any other thoughts, leave a comment or email us at 4cremlings@gmail. Still the number 4. Thank you to the legendary Brandon Sanderson and Brotherwise Games for this amazing world and system we get to play in. See you in 2 weeks as we continue the journey of the Knights of Desolation.